Take three. So before I get started, I wanted to just say a few words about the election. That I'm very pleased with the result of the election. Got the House and the Senate, and I know maybe some of you even watching this might not share my enthusiasm, but they had their chance, you know. I wanted to say, you know, the attempts on Trump's life and all that type of thing. I'd like everybody to say a prayer for him and his family, for his health and safety. Okay, I'll get started with the core of this video. Excuse me. Now, the dear friend mentioned in the title is the First Amendment. And I say that it's buried today because of the unfortunate shutting down of a certain alternate news network, which happened today. Now, it was because of what he said about a certain incident back in 2012. Now, this particular incident, I followed very closely. I was working second shift at the time, so I was home during the day, and I watched it right from the moment it started happening, and I can't tell you that the man who ran this is correct, but I can tell you that there was a lot of what I would call funny business. A lot of unanswered questions, a lot of inconsistencies. Just things that left you scratching your head. One example, I don't want to go into too much detail because you run the risk of getting of losing everything nowadays because the First Amendment is under attack. But there was an interview going on with the reporter and one of the people who were involved indirectly with the incident. And this man gave a testimony or a statement to the press days before this one. And there were many reporters around with cameras rolling, and overheard and caught on camera the reporter who began to prompt the man after the man began to contradict an earlier statement he gave. It wasn't supposed to be heard, but it was caught. You can't find it on the internet now. The internet's been scrubbed of a lot of this stuff. So it's like, what are they? If they've got nothing to hide, why do they want to scrub the internet of certain things regarding this? So the reporter redirected the man, saying something like, "Oh, don't you mean this, blah blah blah?" And then the man, "Oh yes, that's what I meant." Just very strange, and I could point out a dozen other things for you, but obviously not on this forum. It's like the Palantir on Lord of the Rings. He throws the towel over the eye. We do not know who else might be watching, says Gandalf. So you can now, after this, you can run the risk of losing all that you have for expressing your opinion on a public forum, thanks to what happened today. Now, and I know someone who had personal information, who had information in the video footage about a certain incident involving in Texas involving a religious sect and various government agencies. You can probably deduce what I'm talking about. A certain religious sect and certain government agencies are conflicting with each other in Texas. So this person was very vocal about what he knew, and he shared videos with people, and ultimately he was caught up with, and he experienced harassment, threats, and even arrest. And the arresting officer told him, "Hey, look, we don't want to." It was a bogus charge that they got him with, and they're like, "This is from higher up. You need to just shut it down." So that's probably the least that can happen to you. Now, Wikipedia defines this network as a fake news network. However, as Joe Rogan once pointed out, they have been right more times than CNN. From personal experience, my own personal experience, it has happened that my wife will tell me about some incident on the news, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, I just saw that on 2 days ago." Now, that happened. That's happened more than once, and I'd always learn things on there days before you see it on the regular news for some reason. Now, the problem with is that along with all the valid news reports and things that are true, you also have a bit of craziness. Gay frogs, you might know what I'm talking about. There's a Songify video on YouTube. And reptilian overlords, blood drinking elites, trafficking, child trafficking elites, so forth. All this craziness, obviously crazy. Now, the difference between CNN is that CNN's lies are more subtle and presented like truth. Now, any fake news is much easier to discern for any sane and reasonably intelligent, thoughtful individual. I have a very strong hunch. I've had a very strong hunch for a long time that maybe a part of a government psyop to obscure the truth by taking truth, if you were the government, by taking truth that you were worried about that might be known to the public somehow and released. You would take this, like, for example, you're afraid of say something about UFOs getting out. It could come out in any number of leaks. So basically, if you're the government, you know the information is going to get out anyway. You'll want to give it to, and once that happens, it becomes discredited. Whoever repeats the information will associate it with them. Now, I don't know if that's actually, if all this is actually the case, but it certainly seems like a tactic a government might use. I could be way off base. I don't know. I knew there was more that I wanted to say, but so basically, this is an attack on free speech. Any other news outlet that is not the main ones you know about, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, you can simply shut them down if they say something that you don't agree with, or that the the deep state or whatever they want to Orwellian monopoly on information. So, and I think that's what this is all about. People throw around, even Republicans I know, throw around words such as misinformation and fake news, and you never heard these words until maybe 10 years ago. And it's every time I hear those words, it just we've got to combat misinformation. It just makes me cringe because I know what that means. It means that they want to be the arbiters of what is true or not, and I hope people will wake up to that, because if you're a thinking person, reasonably intelligent person, you can watch something like this, and you can get information. You can discern fact from fiction. And if you don't want to think, if you don't want to use your mind to do that, zone out on CNN and just let your mind go blank and let all the garbage come in. So that's all I have. I'll see if I can figure out how to splice these two cuts together. Very educational stuff, this YouTube video making. Okay, so now that I know how to merge videos or splice videos, I want to add a little bit to those others. I totally forgot to say, this here behind me is a chainmail. What'd you say it was? A Haberrack? Hobart. And helmet and scale mail, and handmade by my wife. Her company's Back in Time by Diana, and you can find them on Facebook and Etsy. So check it out if you like it. It's on there.